What's going on, guys? My name is Ryan Snaadt at Rhymes with Thought, and welcome to another video. In today's video, we're welcoming Joey Beech on the show, so give it up for Joey. Today we want to talk about some different things around money and how you can kind of control money in your life and not let money control you. And Joey and I met probably 4 years ago when I first started out in videography. I was in college just looking to try and get some experience, and Joey took a chance and gave me an opportunity to try and improve my skills. And I have a lot to thank for her for that in the last couple of years, as now I'm running a freelance business and making another stream of income for myself. And who knows, that may not have happened if it wasn't for Joey. So I'll let Joey kind of share a little bit about what she does, what her background is, and then we'll kind of give you guys 3 main tips or so on some tips that you can use if you're in your 20s on how to better manage your money.
Sounds great. Well, first I have to say, Ryan, I've been so impressed with what you've done with yourself and your career since we met. You were still in college when we first connected, and you first did that video for us. And since then, you've taken every opportunity and you've just grabbed it and gone way farther than I ever would have expected. It's particularly most young men. I'm very impressed, so congratulations on all the success you've had.
Thank you.
I wish I could say I had something to do with it, but at least I was there and got to watch it. As far as finances and really taking control of it, one of the great things to do is having a side hustle, because I think it's great if you set your budget, you start planning on what your kind of normal income is and set your expenses based on that. And then when you have a side hustle, all that extra money is just that, it's extra. So then you can start pouring it in. So if you want to invest into building your business, you could invest in that. Or otherwise, you can just pound away either at reducing your debt or building up those savings. So I like to think of it as savings can, yes, it sounds kind of boring, but savings can be a great way to get a good night's sleep, but it's also a great way to get an opportunity. If you've got money tucked away and a great opportunity comes your way, you can say, hell yeah, I'm taking it, because you've got that buffer. Or if you need another extra piece of equipment, you've got it. So the side hustle, number one, that gets you a little extra funding and increases your top line. But then if you can use that extra money to help grab opportunities or create a buffer, so as things taper off or as the economy goes up and down, you've got something to rely on.
And I know we kind of jumped right into the topics here. Maybe, Joe, you can fill them in a little bit on kind of your understanding of finance and kind of where you're at, and now you're kind of transitioning into your own side hustle. And maybe you can share a little bit about that.
And it's funny, we probably started around the same time as you and I met. So I spent over 20 years in the financial industry. I got paid to learn about personal finance, which was great. And then as life would have it, my daughter was graduating. She got a job offer and had all these great questions about setting up a budget and what her benefits selection should be and how should she save. And she had a lot of goals she wanted to save for. So what the best ways for doing that were. And as I helped her through that, I looked for books that would be good and interesting for her to cover all of that. And there was a real gap in the market. I couldn't find anything that really fit. For one, most of the finance books are really thick, big thud factor, and they're not that interesting.
Sure.
So I really tried to create something that was simple, quick, unbiased, and that some young people would read. So I wrote a book. It's called A Girl's Guide to Personal Finance. Fortunately, savvy people like you, some of my best reviews have actually come from guys. Yes, the guy's guide is under work or being worked on, but it might take me a little bit to get that, since I don't have as clear of a perspective on the guy's guide and how guys think about it. But so I wrote that book. It's gone very well. The reviews have been good. So I've now been speaking and getting out there more and more to continue to tell the story and help people out.
I think I was one of the first reviews on your book, because I found out, I'm like, Joey wrote a book, so I went and bought it, and I read it because I'd gone on a trip that week that I bought it, so it was perfect airplane material. And I just recently took another trip and reread it again just to kind of see where I was personally, because I bought it the week that I graduated, and it was the perfect time for me. So if you're just like an early graduate, or you're about to graduate, or maybe you're that 22 to 25-year-old man or woman, this was a super helpful book to read. I'll make sure I put it in the description box down below. You can go and grab it and support her. But it's super helpful, just kind of open your eyes to understanding how to manage money, because you go through this whole process of high school and college, and everybody teaches you how to be a great student. but when you get out there kind of in the real world or out in the wilderness, you have to really fend for yourself, you know, and there's not a lot of people there to help you with that. So I think this is a really, you know, real world applicable book, super helpful, and I'm really, really happy that Joey's sharing her knowledge with people and starting to speak and just kind of, like we said, pass that knowledge on to not only young girls, but boys and guys and men and women, ladies, young and old, everybody can kind of learn something from this book. So it's a very, very insightful book there.
Yeah, well, and I think one of the other drivers for me to put it together is because the financial industry has kind of mystified all of it, and you have to talk with the right people to help know what to do. And the reality is, if you understand the core concepts, you can do it. You can do a lot of it yourself, and you don't need to wait. And when you do it when you're young, it triples the impact than if you wait till you're later in life. By then, you've got more things set, you have more expenses that you have less control over, and honestly, one of my mantras is, if you manage your money today, you can own your tomorrow.
Absolutely. Awesome. Do you have any other tips for some of these folks before we sign off here in terms of people that are just leaving college, or, you know, we talked about setting a budget, having a side hustle. Any other types of tips for these folks?
I think the key thing is keep it simple and just understand the core concepts. If you keep it simple, set it up, focus on your goals, you can do amazing things with it. So if you overcomplicate it, that's where it's like a diet. If it's too complicated or too rigid, most people are going to stop doing it after a few days, if not a few weeks. And I think if you keep it simple, focus on your goal and the key concepts, it will last all life, throughout your life.
Absolutely. Well, Joey, thanks for coming on and kind of sharing some of your knowledge with everybody. And I hope, like we said, make sure to go buy her book. I'm not just plugging this. I've actually read it twice, and I'm not a reader, which is surprising. So I watch videos and listen to podcasts. So make sure to go check out her book. It's super applicable. We'll put it down in the description box below. And Joey, thanks again for coming on. And like we said, just really focus on improving every day, whether it's, you know, health, wealth, relationships. You really want to focus on those big areas of your life to try and improve, especially if you're in your 20s and you're trying to start a side hustle and manage all the things that go with that. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.